Dino, one player who's been a little bit overlooked in amongst all of this Manchester United merry-go-round, Brian and Burmo, will he go, will he stay, is Eberechi Eze. Obviously one of the most talented forward players in the Premier League, not commanding the big, huge wages of the Jadon Sanchos, the Marcus Rashfords, the Alejandro Garnachos, the Antonys, all of that sort of thing. He goes about his business in his general attitude in a much different way to those players we've just mentioned. It's Eberechi Eze at Crystal Palace. Now, the lead in Football Confidential in Tuesday morning's paper is Eberechi Eze is interested in joining Thomas Frank's Tottenham Revolution. Now,
Vive la Revolution.
Vive la Revolution, yeah. Brian and Burmo, Tottenham were interested in him. The link obvious there because Frank managed in Burmo for 6 years. Manchester United, certainly the front runners at the moment or playing their hand a little bit earlier. But Frank keen on Eze.
Yeah, and Eze keen on Spurs as well, which is key. Just got married as well. Lovely pictures that he put out over the weekend.
As opposed to the
opposed to the
Alejandro
Rashford on the back of your shirt. You know, post nice friendly pictures.
Did he have any names on the back of his wedding suit?
No. It's Frank.
Frank,
on the
Frank
back.
one.
And I thought it's wedding season at the moment in the Premier League. Obviously, there's something in the water, but it's a summer with apart from the Club World Cup, there's no tournament. So everyone's getting married. But so good stuff. But that'll be why Eze's been quiet. Yep. For a week or so. You know, personal life, obviously very happy, all good. You said at the beginning there that one that's gone under the radar a little bit hasn't gone under my radar.
I'm sure.
I'm really annoying my contacts at the moment. There's a few of them that I just text every day as a question mark. It's not, no hello, good morning, how are you? It's now just as a question mark. So I'm getting certain emojis sent back to me in sort of quite,
derogatory.
Probably that's the best word to put it. But look, it's quite a complicated deal. Because he's got sell-on clauses. He's got the buyout clause because it's a Champions League club.
So it's just quickly, the release clause is around the £60 million mark.
Yes, but then there are add-ons in there as well. So it's like it would total about 68 if it was a complete buyout of that. Palace have kind of accepted that. If he's going to go and he wants to go, that they might not get all of that money because, as I say, they've done very well on the deal, and and he did his mystery tour of London before he got to the point of lifting the FA Cup. So there are fees in there, and there's been a suggestion that there's this sort of 20-20-20 deal that can be done in payments. But look, clubs don't really care how deals are structured that much. It's as long as they get a big chunk up front and then it's written in that they're going to get the full fee. What they don't like is deals where he has to play 100 Premier League games and win something.
They like to plot cash flow.
Absolutely, yeah. So those type of deals are very rare now. But I mean, he's we know he won the FA Cup last year, 14 goals last year. He's now got 12 international caps. He's a bona fide class Premier League footballer. He would fit absolutely straight into a Thomas Frank way of playing. He would probably be freed of some of the defensive duties that he would be forced to do in a. I don't want to be unfair on Palace. They won the FA Cup, but in a side that has to do more than their means to get through games, he would have. And Oliver Glasner is a very pragmatic coach.
Absolutely.
And so
there are suggestions of very very respectful, but there are suggestions of a little bit of a standoff between the two in terms of Eze again knows his worth, knows the sort of player he is, and knows what he's good at. But Oliver Glasner's like, I'm the manager of Crystal Palace, and there needs to be a
defensive duties that have got to be done. Absolutely.
They can't afford a Mo Salah, just stay up there, Mo, we'll do your running for you. No. But do you think if he did move to Tottenham, that he would be granted a little bit of freedom on the defensive side under Frank?
I see him as a 10, as an out-and-out 10 at Spurs. And I don't want to be... I find it really difficult because I don't want to be disrespectful to Crystal Palace. They finished above Tottenham in the Premier League. They won a trophy. But at the same time... for someone like Eberechi Eze, that's probably the ceiling at Crystal Palace, right? And look, if they go and finish 8th or 9th next year, that they'll deem that as having another good season in the Premier League. And they've done a brilliant job. Glasner's done an incredible job. That front three of Sarr, Mateta, and Eze was, the envy of a lot of Premier League clubs last year. Adam Wharton's another one we should visit in another episode as well. I think that one might run in the summer. But yeah, Eze, like I just love him. I think he's the one that you pay the entry fee to watch. And I mean, I don't know if you saw the England game against Senegal, but when he came on as sub and that little flick around the corner, I know that people are going to shout me down, but he's a Tottenham player in that attitude. I don't mean that Tottenham's a massive draw for a player like that. The way that you want your footballers to play, I just love it.
Where does that leave James Maddison? Because lots of the talk is around it's Eze or Mbeumo for Thomas Frank and for Tottenham.
I don't think
the implication being there that they're wide men though, because Mbeumo is more of an out and out winger. If you're saying Eze's a 10, is there room still for Tottenham to land both?
Absolutely, there's room. I mean, there's a big debate.
And where does it leave James Maddison?
Well, yeah, there's a big debate over Heung-min Son, obviously, first of all. So if there's a sale there, and then obviously big wages off the books, that frees up.
If the successful Scoggins Sun Out campaign comes to fruition,
he's a legend.
Years-long
he's a legend holding a trophy
Scoggins.
now. So I've just been calling for him to win us a trophy, and now he has.
Or score goals that matter.
Absolutely,
I think was the quote. Anyway,
let's gloss over.
Sorry,
that.
wide men Eze and Mbeumo.
Yeah, and Mbeumo would play wide right, in the same position he played for Brentford. Or, he can play both sides, but I just think Eze would get a free role in that formation. And you're quite right to mention James Maddison there, because I think that would be more of the competition. I think it would be more competition for Kulusevski or Maddison than it would be for the wide men. Spurs have also signed Mattis Tell. Have also got Wilson Odobert, who's a very, very good footballer. They've also got Brennan Johnson.
Hero, of course.
I think he could be the collateral in this, perhaps. And there's Richarlison as well. So there's all of those players. But Maddison's injury prone. Eze's not got the best injury record in the world, but is at a very, very good last season. But I think that you've got to have, if you're going to play Premier League and Champions League football and give one of the cups a bash as well, then you've got to have more than one. You can't just say, well, James Maddison plays there and we don't need anybody else. What happens then when you get those injuries? I'll tell you what happened when you get those injuries at Tottenham. Last season, then, you end up playing 4 18-year-olds in a team that then finishes 17th in the Premier League because the injury crisis was that bad. Spurs' squad needs bolstering, and it needs 2 or 3 top-class Premier League players, and Eze's one of them.
I'm going to ask you one question then, Dino, and I want a one-word answer. Could Tottenham weigh out enough money to sign Eberechi Eze and Bryan Mbeumo this transfer window?
Yes.
There we go.